Hello guys, another Saturday, another day of tiny races. It's 11 a.m. here in Sweden. It's the first tiny race of the day. Before I go into the details on the routes today, I do need to say that I usually go the 11 a.m. race. I checked some statistics from the tiny races 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And the other race, one of the other races, I think it was the 5 p.m. race, it was significantly worse in terms of performance as compared to the early race. In the first race there were 20 guys with a better time than the winner of the 5 p.m. race. 20 guys. And on the third race, the winner of my race had 5:32, I had 5:40, and the winner of the later race had 5:58. 18 seconds in that short of a time. That's a lot. So this is obviously the most competitive race. So the routes today. First, it's turf and surf. It's a long race. I don't know why they make them so long. This is almost flat the entire way, so you could have just made it a 4-kilometer race, but anyway. Then there's a sprint. You do have a ghost power-up, so people who likes to go in the beginning, they might use that to get away without people noticing. But I'm not gonna even think about that, because I race to get racing skill basically. So I need to get sprinting skills. Then the second race is railways and rooftops. It's about a 3-minute climb, not a very steep one, but still a climb. So it's gonna spread out. Third race is the same as, was it last week, I think? Sand and fine and sandy. So it's a punchy 45 to 50 second climb in the beginning, and then it's downhill, and then it's flat. Then the fourth race, I'm not gonna join. It's from sea to tree. It's a long, I don't know, 7-minute climb, steep, in sand. No racing skill, just pure power, and I need to save my legs for a race tomorrow. So that's not gonna happen. I got quite a few races now. I mean, I did a VO2 Max session on Tuesday, a race on Thursday, these races today, I will race tomorrow, another race on Tuesday, another race on Thursday, tiny races again on Saturday, and then I'm done. Then it's a tapering week for the real deal. So quite hectic now. My legs are not, they felt good sitting down, but standing up I did not have the legs today in the warm-up. But this first one is gonna be mainly sitting down. Anyway, now I'm gonna keep quiet to catch my breath. Just 48 people. People are joining now. If anyone uses the Ghost, I wonder if you see him on the nearby athletes. I think you do. Oh, they're going away. I'm not gonna follow. Someone else will. Maybe I should have followed, I don't know. You don't gain anything by going off like that. Unless you break away, that's the thing. And I think we're gonna catch him. No, we're not going to. Because everybody's a lazy ass. Should have gone with them. My steering isn't working, what the fuck? My steering isn't working. Thanks for that. Yes. And everyone caught on. Where is it? Oh, there. 2 minutes. Oh, gotta change bike. Or do I? Yeah. And the wheels. I don't think they'd rock me anyway before the hill. Man, I am. These 1 minute sprints, I mean, oh. Oh. Would be stupid to go before the hill. Now I can steer. I think. No? I don't know. I died. Oh, I died. Too early. I miscalculated. I thought the end was at the top of the hill, but it wasn't. Oh my god, and this is gonna be hard right away. Not right away, but pretty much. A little bit uphill at first, then a little bit downhill, then straight, and then I don't know what then. Yeah, 45-second all-out effort, and then it's just straight. You can't get dropped at that hill. Because after that it's downhill, and then people are gonna move away if you're not with them. But last time I rode this was the first course though, but people were so stretched out, the field, so even people like 10 seconds back were able to catch up in the downhill. Now it might be different because now people are tired. But I have to approach it like that's the end of the race, basically. Oh. But man, I totally blew up in the last race. I still finished 16th, but if I would have just held off for a little bit. But I thought, I'm strong, let's go. Oh. It's strange, you don't get much racing score on these tiny races actually. I mean, last race was on Thursday. I got 13 points. I got second in a race of 6. And all 6 people, all 4 people behind me had a lower racing score than me. And I got 13 points for that. Here I got 3 and 3. And I beat some people that were way ahead of me. It's strange. Sure, the races are shorter, but still, the competition is just as stiff. I really want this to go over with. I feel awful. I feel awful. Just 44 people. The rest are too tired. No separation. catch him. There's no way he's gonna hold that. Yeah, maybe we're slowing down. I'm spent. I have nothing. I have nothing. That was useless. Okay. That was not a good race. But I can't do anything more. I was just spent. It's something, I don't know what it is, but I usually do the best in the first race, and then it goes downhill from there, unless the courses are unbalanced and suit me better towards the end, but that's usually how it goes. I don't know why. Somehow everyone else is, no, not everyone else, but the people that come close to me in the standings in the first race are obviously better than me at recovering. And I don't know really how you train that. Maybe it's, I don't know, but however, one thing I do know is that doing a 1 minute or 70-second sprint towards the end, like I usually do, because I'm better at that than short sprints, that takes much longer to recover than if you do a short sprint. Of course, you never do, 5-second sprints, that's never gonna happen in a race, but in some races I've seen maybe 15. It depends on how large the race is, but maybe 15-second sprints, and you're gonna recover from those a lot faster. I was still feeling today probably the 1 minute sprint I did on Thursday 2 days ago. And then the sprint I did in the first race today, that broke me. Really. And the thing is, it broke me mentally as well. Because I didn't have the same mental, focus, aggressiveness in the second sprint. You kind of could maybe say that I gave up towards the end. Of course, when you give it your all, thinking that the finish line is closer and then it's 100 meters left to go, it's you don't have much, but in this third race I had nothing. Normally I start to sprint earlier than that, but I knew I couldn't, and then I didn't have the capacity to catch up. But all in all, the best weekend, the best tiny races so far. The field was a little smaller today, but still 6th place, first time ever top 10, and then, what was it, 16th, when I blew up. Could have done better than that, probably, if I would have timed it. And a third, where I just survived. I mean, I just survived. There was no... There was no tactics in that race. I was too tired to do anything but just keep up. So the best weekend so far. I am taking giant steps, I have to say, each week. Now it's like 15 days left to the Zwift Cup. So I still have some time to improve. But man, that's gonna be the first race. It's gonna be a maximum effort for 90 seconds up a hill in the beginning. And I just need to hold the wheel there. But there are some extremely good guys. So it's gonna be... It's probably, unless the field is really large and stretches out so I can free ride, even if I get dropped really, you know, by the top riders. But if that doesn't happen, I will probably need to do the performance of my lifetime, and man, is it gonna be tough to keep up then, because I know one of these guys, he just keeps on going. He can do a maximum effort and then just basically keep going. So he breaks people. Hopefully, if he breaks away, it's just gonna be 1 or 2 guys following him. So at least I can keep up with the group after that. But man, if I can keep up with him, you know, that's gonna be something. Well, I'm glad this is over. This was very unpleasant. Today, or tomorrow there's a race. The day after this, it's gonna be extremely unpleasant. And sometimes I wonder why I do this. I wish I had the genes for something else. Sometimes I just wish that. But now, my genes dictate me to cycling. So that's what I have to do. But the thing is, if you accept the fact that this isn't fun, this isn't supposed to be fun, and this can never be fun while you're doing it. If you can accept that fact, I think it's easier. I think it's much easier. You need to realize that and accept that. Don't pretend that you're trying to have fun. Because then you're gonna look for something fun, and there's definitely nothing fun about this. It's fun afterwards. I'm happy now. I placed well. I'm seeing progress. That's extremely pleasant. Now I'm gonna go and take a long bath. That's fun. That's pleasant. Having just succeeded, then winding down in a hot bath. That's what life is about. However, if I hadn't succeeded today, if I would have finished in the bottom 25%, then that bath would have been worth nothing. Then I would have felt like a failure all day. So of course you need to succeed, but during the activity it's fucking awful. It's so awful. I sometimes question whether it's worth it. But it's gonna be different when I'm tapered. Not all these guys race every other day. Some guys do, I know that, but at least half the field were way more rested than I was today. I have to think about that also. Well, now I'm gonna do a cool down ride, then go into a bath, and then I'm gonna travel into the city to see a hockey game. Alright, take care.